Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo! And you have no idea how difficult it is to avoid social media for hours. I mean, it is possible to do. I remember a time when social media didn't exist, but now that we know it exists, it's like a literal fire hose of information. And my social feeds are dominated with one topic, Star Wars. So, upon waking up this morning, I realized that Disney was going to be releasing their D23 special look video, their sizzle reel, if you will, with more footage from, potentially final footage, that is footage that will be in the film, of the Rise of Skywalker. And so I knew the video was going to drop today. I had no idea how early. Turns out, like, right when I woke up, they dropped it. I'm like, So it was challenging to be on social today. I largely avoided it, apart from work, since I help Intel, specifically Intel Graphics, with their community efforts. That was, though, largely in the Intel Graphics Discord channel. Paying attention to my work while trying to ignore Star Wars. Not easy to do. You'd think it would be simple, but it isn't. It is not simple. So I am here to react to the first viewing of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker D23 special look. One of these days, I'll get to go to these conventions on a more regular basis. One of these days. I don't know when. Don't know how, but I swear it's going to happen. Just not today. Today, I'm going to be content watching the video as I teased out on social. I asked, hey, should I do a reaction? And one person, it only took one of you, quote tweet, or I quote tweeted you, but you tweeted me an animated GIF of Count Dooku. So it only took one of you to basically have me say, okay, I'll do a video. So I posted the link, of course, to the live feed link, as well as a link to Discord, where you can join, because the Discord is now open for all. Here I go. Without further ado, I have no idea what discussion will ensue. John, who's a super awesome geek show in chat, watching live as well, suggested that maybe he could call in, because he's already seen the video. So we're going to talk to John. Today, I hope to not go over a half hour, but you're going to get my reaction and then a discussion with John, a.k.a. the super awesome geek show. And hey, Christopher Miller, good to see you. Thanks again for being a member of this channel and joining. I appreciate that support. Here we go. I'm going to press play. Of course, I do not have rights of rebroadcasting audio or visuals. YouTube's crazy that way. So I'm going to just listen as I normally do and watch as I normally do and react. So 3, 2, 1, tap. That's eerie music. The twin sons of Tatooine, Kenobi. So they're telling the story, right? This is where we came from. I should not drink as I'm doing this. Yeah, the walkers! Who's up for a Star Wars marathon? Me? And the comics have been on point, too. Luke, from The Last Jedi, we've passed on all we know. No, wait, that was from the teaser. I remember hearing that before, though. Oh, now they're pulling in prequel, The Force Awakens. Yeah, that's from the earlier teaser, wasn't it? This Christmas. What's going on there? Is Leia? Holy cow! Did you see how many stars? Hang on. Did C-3PO have red eyes? Whoa! Wait a minute. That sounded like Palpatine. Hang on! Whoa! Back up the Sandcrawler! Dude! Ray! Not just a red lightsaber, but double bladed like Maul's, but she flipped it down like I'm sorry, I'm yelling. The Inquisitor did in Rebels. Remember that? He came out when he was facing Kanan in the temple, and he flipped it out the same way. Oh, jeez. Okay, that wasn't exactly a trailer, Christopher, but thank you for the super chat. Wow. Holy cow. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's too much to unpack. What did I hear? What did I see? Hang on, John. I gotta... Was that Palpatine? It didn't sound like Luke the second time. Give me a second. I gotta try to rewind it without clipping of cheese and crackers. Because it was only like a minute long. We got a minute of new footage, but man! Holy, okay, this Christmas, there's the gang, and they're facing this whole, like a group of people. Is that the new Resistance? There's the Resistance. Look at those Star Destroyers! 3PO has red eyes! That's Palpatine! Dude! Dude! Ray! Whoa! Oh! That was Palpatine. So it transitioned between... And I love Ray's theme there at the end. So it transitioned between Luke to Palpatine in terms of a dialogue. Okay, hang on. Okay, John, call me. Hang on, or I'll call you. Wow, oh man. Whew. Okay, I gotta breathe. Alright, calling you, John. I think. Let's see here, I'm gonna put you on speaker. Hopefully everyone will be able to hear.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, John.
Holy cow, man. I gotta tell you, when I saw that, I exploded.
Unbelievable! Like, it was only like a minute long, right? But like, I'm trying to think of how many things just took me aback, right? Like, of course, 3PO with the red eyes. Ray with... Wait a minute. What could that be Maul's lightsaber?
No, it's more similar to Krell. Remember the guy that went nuts with
Pong Krell.
The Clone Wars?
Yeah, Pong Krell.
Yeah. Because he had like the two blades that were going up, and then he could flip it down. Remember, into a double blade?
Yeah, like the Inquisitor on Rebels when he was a Jedi Temple Guard. He did the same. He had the same maneuver. But I'm saying,
he did the same.
But is that Maul's hilt?
I don't think so. I think it's longer.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised no one's done an analysis on this one. Okay.
Well, like, there's a couple people who kind of did. I mean, Star Wars Explained there, Alex had a really nice picture of it up, and you can clearly see I think he enhanced it slightly.
Did you see how many Star Destroyers were there? Look at... Hang on.
Yeah,
like,
Did you notice those are Imperial Star Destroyers, not First Order? Yeah,
like I noticed because the top, where the thing on top, you can see it more if you pause. Yeah, those are Imperial. In the way it cascades down, yeah.
Plus, I like in the Resistance shot, I like there's B-Wing, A-Wing, Y-Wing.
Everything. Hang on. Yeah. Okay, A-Wings. Yeah, there's B-Wings, X-Wings. Of course, is that... No, wait a minute. What is that other ship? That's not the Falcon.
Well, No, it's something else. Yeah, I thought it was the Falcon at first also, but if you zoom in, there's little things protruding off it.
You can see...
Else.
Yeah, you can see like a box off, and that's a blockade runner. But so we don't. Of course, we don't know what any of this is, right? But like, 3PO's got red eyes. Is he like channeling like what BT-0?
Yeah, that's what I said. Everyone was thinking that it's a 000.
Yeah, 000. Right. I always mess those two up. Like 000. So I wonder I wonder.
I mean, since 3PO had a red arm in one and he had a silver leg in one, clearly they can change body parts, so why can't 000 be gold?
No, I don't think it's... I don't think it's 000. No, I don't think it's 000. I think it's 3PO. But what if they toggled? Because obviously, you can program 3PO. Obviously, he's a droid. What if he had a program for to switch to be effectively a murder droid? I mean, what else does red signify? Why would they call that out?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, you know how there's a rumor going around that he uses Chewbacca's bowcaster?
Right.
What if, in order to use a weapon, he has to go into some kind of battle mode?
Oh.
He enters battle mode, his eyes turn red?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. I apparently I'm yelling. Sorry. The Salad Von Bacon, your speaker's blowing again. But he says perhaps the red eyes is a battle program or something. That's my feeling. But wow. Yeah, that's
I really just about exploded because I was in the back of a Lego store building a set for a display. They have a little build room in the back where we can work if we're doing our job to build a display for them. And someone came up to me and they were like, "The trailer just dropped, John. Did you see this?" So we all stopped and put it on our phones and watched it. And I literally, at the end of that thing, I went, "What? What did I just see?"
I know! I know! Wow.
And everybody's looking at me like, what do you mean? What just happened?
So, Imperial cruisers, Palpatine, so he must have transmogrified or actually gone away to a different part of the galaxy and hid away, and he's the Phantom Menace returning? That's, kind of circular, right? It's the loop. Rey's got... Okay, so I'm not... This Dark Rey, right? This is the one... Because I heard people saying Dark Rey around D23. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't want to look. So... is this a vision? Kind of like Luke in Empire? Or... Because that's Rey. Does she have... That's her.
Yeah. If you get a chance later on, look at Alex's video on Star Wars Explained. He has a shot where he kind of lightened it up a little bit, and you can see her complete outfit and the hilt of the blade, and it looks really good.
Wow.
The outfit looks amazing. It's fantastic. I can't wait to have an action figure of it.
She's got...
I do think it's a vision.
Yeah.
Like I said, think back to 1979. If you were leading into 1980 where Empire Strikes Back was coming out, and they did a little teaser of that with today's mentality, they would have ended it on Luke's face in Vader's helmet.
Right.
And the whole world would have went, what the heck's going on? Is Luke turning into Vader?
Yeah.
But it's just a vision.
See, that's the thing.
This could be just a vision.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no way... Okay, so we see her in the forest throwing her blade, right? And then we see her fighting Kylo Ren, but there's no way she goes from the light side to the dark side in the course of a movie or the course of over two movies. So there's no, logically, and here's the thing: it didn't, or did it? God, it did. It ended on that. It ended on that.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant by Disney, the marketing, because everyone is talking about this. It's like the biggest thing on every social media right now. It's huge. So, they're getting everyone who was on the fence. They're now going to watch this movie because they want to know what's going on.
No, how could you be on the fence? How?
You can't anymore. Yeah.
I couldn't before. My God. Okay, wow. Okay, so Palpatine, there, obviously, the Imperial forces, obviously back building somewhere, and there's no possible way they would have been back building within plain sight of the First Order. No chance. No chance.
My thought was, what if that's Thrawn?
Oh.
Because he's way out there with Ezra.
Ezra, right.
Unknown area. What if Thrawn built up an army of Imperial Star Destroyers and now he's back? I would just, lose it if that was true, but I doubt it. But, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I mean, I don't think they're going to be pulling in too many other characters, so that would be a long shot.
Exactly.
But Palpatine's obviously there. Rey is still learning her way. What if her connection with Kylo has her see what it's like to basically live on the dark side? Right? I mean, it's got to be some kind of vision like that. Or
I've also been pointing out her eyes don't change color.
Exactly.
But yet also they're like, Kylo's never really changed color.
But he's not a Sith.
Never went to the Sith.
They're not Sith.
Know?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But it could be a talisman, right? Because we saw the Death Star, and we obviously know Palpatine's involved. So the question is, how is Palpatine reintroduced? And I wonder if it's not Kylo. I wonder if it's Rey who reintroduces. Because remember, she's looking. Kylo knows. He's focused. He knows he's a supreme leader now, right? He is focused, right? He doesn't need salvation. He doesn't need help. But Rey is now without compass. She's now without a guide. And she's, so, I wonder if it's, this is total conjecture. Obviously, I have no insight, but I wonder if it's her because of that, right? Logically, that would make sense. And as she's hitting the talisman, she wakes up Palpatine. But there's no way. We've got Sith troopers, right? So in order for there to be Sith troopers, the Sith have to be alive. Palpatine, oh man.
But why would the thing that's getting me is, why would the Sith troopers, even if they are leftover, let's say Palpatine takes the Imperial forces, turns them into Sith troopers, and he's got Sith army, why would they still have First Order looking?
Yeah, so I wonder if the Sith trooper. Oh, you're right. You're right.
See, I almost think it's Kylo's obsession with Darth Vader and the artifacts of Vader and that lineage that makes him make some elite troopers that he calls the Sith troopers, even though he's not himself turned into a Sith,
No. So what if it's grander than that? What if the person holding the strings has always been Palpatine? Always. Because
it could be.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I agree. Obviously, you have the design ethos of the Sith Trooper, which is pretty, obviously First Order. But in order for them to be a Sith Trooper, right, they're fighting for the Sith. I don't know if Kylo necessarily needs to become a full-on Sith Lord. I mean, I could be wrong, obviously, but it would make sense if Palpatine was always kind of pulling the strings, from beyond.
Yeah, and then Snoke was one of Palpatine's puppets, in a sense.
Exactly. And so he let Snoke do his thing, or whatever, and after he realized, okay, Snoke's out of the picture, and the Resistance is almost crushed, and now I've got this potential student I can continue to mold, although, man, it just takes you down 13 different paths. He seems to be speaking to Rey. At the end of this, he says, your journey is at an end. I don't know if he'd be saying that to Kylo.
That's what it seems like he'd be saying that to Rey. But here's the thing. I like your idea of her searching for another teacher. All right?
Right.
Say Luke is gone. Let's pretend none of the Force ghosts have talked to her yet. In the beginning of the movie, she goes to the remnants of the Death Star to find something of the other side, to see it, because something in the books have told her there's a balance between the light and the dark. She knows about the light, but she's got to study the dark. And then so she goes to the Death Star, and there she finds, like you said, Palpatine, and somehow reawakens him, or finds him there, or something that leads her to him in another part of the galaxy. And then later on, the Force ghosts show up, and say, Palpatine's not who you think he is. He's the evil this galaxy has seen all along. Like, he pretends to be good and wanting to train her and to get her on his side. And then the Force ghosts show up and go, this is a vision of what you will become if you follow Palpatine. And then she, of course, doesn't follow him and uses the good side to fight him or something. I don't know.
It's a
good speculation, but what if? You know?
No, exactly. It's a good theory. It's all going to be what ifs, of course, until Christmas. Salad Von Bako says maybe Palpatine possessed Vader's helmet and has been talking to Kylo Ren for a long time now, making him think he was a grandfather, but really he's Palps all along. I think there's got to be significance that the helmet's back in play, because we didn't see it in The Last Jedi, but obviously it was there in The Force Awakens. Now I fast forwarded to the end. Here's my question. See, I'm not much into the the construction of things, like how design looks, but they're on Kylo and Rey when they're battling with the water and everything. I think they're on the Death Star, because it looks like
to the left there's
a turret
that looks like the turret that
exactly
looks like the Death Star.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
So I wonder what piece, if there's any significance to the piece of equipment that they're actually on. But I didn't, I wouldn't. Some other people would notice a lot of those kind of details.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could just be the way that they did it. So it looks like a cliff, and the water can crash over, just so it looks like a cool piece. It doesn't have to be they just built a cool set.
Wow.
It's not anything in particular. It's just a piece of the Death Star.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, there's usually those hidden pieces of significance, right? Man. Yeah, like Octavian's asking, I swear if Mace Windu survived, Finn would probably find him on a roof somewhere. Now, see, I think if there were any other cameos like that, I'd imagine they would have leaked. But then again, I was kind of taken aback when I saw Maul at the end of Solo. I was like, whoa!
Yeah.
I'm like, I had no idea, dude. None.
It is very interesting. I noticed that when they went through it was perfect the way they did the lead up to this. So they had the twin sons with Luke, our first shot basically of Luke, and the start for those of us who watched it from the 70s on.
Right.
And then it goes to Han and Leia and Chewie and 3PO and R2, basically showing the first images of each of those characters as we saw it in the movie. And then you go to the end of that film when they're doing the ceremony after the Death Star blows up, and then you go in through Empire and Jedi, and they're a lot of times focusing on those main characters. You see Boba Fett nod, you see all our main characters throughout that. But then when it goes to the prequels, it shows Anakin, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, that whole thing. But then why do they throw Mace Windu in there? They show all the important characters, the Emperor, Palpatine, everything. But then there's one shot of Mace Windu for some reason. And
you're right.
It's like, what's he doing in there? Like, why? He's not significant to the arc of the Skywalkers, Because then when it goes into the...
Well, he was.
They show Rey and Kylo and, Han, Leia again. It's kind of like... then they...
Yeah, but
they focus back on those main characters,
He was, in the sense that he helped...
The whole thing is Mace Windu.
Interesting. Yeah, but he helped transition Anakin to the dark side. Basically sealed his fate. There's Yoda. There's Yoda, too. Yoda.
And the Palpatine transition is in that scene,
Maul. See, there's Maul with a double-bladed lightsaber. Maul, Yoda are in there. Padme. And you're right, yeah. Mace Windu. But you know what I'm saying? So, there are three characters that may... Because Yoda was there. Is Yoda going to come back?
I think he'll be a Force ghost. I do, but, yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'd imagine Luke... I think Hamill's on board, right? So he's come back. We know he's going to be in it. Wow. I'm just watching it again.
I'm pretty sure that I saw somewhere that Hayden Christensen filmed a scene
Really?
Whether or not they use that scene or not, you never know. But he was at one of the premieres for, I don't know if it was Solo or one of the other Star Wars premieres, and they were talking to him on that carpet outside before they went into the premiere. And Hayden was like, "Well, yeah, I'm doing something for them." So either, I don't know, you don't know what he was doing, but he was doing something for the Star Wars franchise. I mean, would he record a voice for the cartoon? I don't know. What else could he have done?
Yeah, anybody's guess. But wow, for a minute worth of footage, they packed a couple of, maybe not a ton of stuff, but like a couple of things in there that make you go, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really got everybody talking. I mean, no one's talking about anything else.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. Speaking of 3D printing with Heath, you're asking about Rainbow Vader. Hang on, let me come over here. He's got a place of honor. In order to fit him on the shelf, I had to readjust him, but I fixed his finger. His finger is fixed. That was easy enough. So yes, 3D printing with Heath, it survived. It's great. I have it so that people can see it. Like Jedi even saw it when I was like, "Look, it's Rainbow Vader." She's like, "Oh wow!" So she enjoyed it. She enjoyed the view. So
that's bigger than I thought it was. It's pictures of it online, but yeah.
No, it's substantial. Like it's big. Like it almost didn't fit on the shelf, so I was like, "Oh, how am I gonna make it fit?" I made it fit. Crammed it in there. Well, yeah, that was. Here's the thing, John. This was just the D23 special look. They haven't even released the trailer yet. We've only seen.
This is just a tease thing.
Yeah, we've seen a teaser and a D23 special look. That's it.
Yeah. We won't get a full-on trailer probably till October timeframe, right?
Yeah, probably right around 444 Friday, I'd imagine. Somewhere around there. Certainly in time for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught it either, but GameStop has the 6-inch Jump Trooper exclusive for $5, or at least it did yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can get it for $5 on GameStop.com. At least, as of yesterday. Let me check. It's still available. GameStop.com. Jump Trooper. If I spelled it like that. Is it gonna... Hang on. No. Is it one word? Might be... I like the design ethos. Yeah, the one word. Yeah, just still $5, John. The Black Series. Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, oh, I already had one, but hey, $5 for one of these?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I think I like these Jump Troopers. I've seen the design of the new Jump Trooper, or what's the new Trooper? Is it a Jump Trooper, a Rocket Trooper? Jet Trooper.
Jet Trooper.
Yeah, I looked at it. I'm like, I don't know if I liked it. I mean, it was I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine, but it wasn't amazing. I wasn't like, oh.
Well, our thing is, why does he keep making the eye slits thinner and thinner and thinner? He must have a heads-up display inside the helmet.
Yeah, it's got to. I don't know. I would have done it. I mean, I'm not them. I like the Sith Trooper design. I mean, I like red. And it looks cool, but I'm not sure. I mean, here's why. Okay, so here's the thing. The Sith Trooper, and this may lend more, while we're on the subject of Sith Trooper design, to lend more credibility to the idea that they're being back-built and that Palpatine has actually been kind of waiting in the wings. If you look at... I mean, I don't know if we talked about this. I know I talked about it with someone, the way that the helmet is designed, it looks like a combination between First Order and a Phase 2 clone trooper.
Okay.
So it looks like they've kind of been fused.
I noticed it wasn't as rounded. The face seems to have sharper edges.
Yeah. But look, can you see a little bit of the Phase 2 clone trooper? So what if effectively clones are still around, and those are Sith troopers are clones.
Wow, that could be interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Because Palpatine, I mean, if they're, I'd imagine. Okay, what? So here's the thing: you gotta ask, what are those Imperial Star Destroyers filled with, right? And if this is what the Sith trooper looks like, you know, is it more? I'm kind of like looking. It's like a First Order ethos combined with a Phase 2 clone trooper, and I can't imagine that being coincidence, right? I think that's intentional, or it's got to be intentional, because what are those Imperial Star Destroyers filled with?
Yeah, considering there's like hundreds on each one, right? Complement some of those. In the thousands.
You build them, you fill them with troopers, and where do you get those people? Well, if you command clones, like, who's to say that he didn't siphon off 100,000 clones and basically fitted them as Sith troopers and had them training all along for his catapulting back into the galaxy to overtake it again. Because now that he knows Luke's gone, he knows the resistance is basically gone. It's time for him to make his move. Basically the First Order, through his hand, destroyed everything, destroyed the government. So he's got a chance to start from scratch. I think he was waiting in the wings. He had to be.
Yeah. So if he's got clones, is that a clone of Rey? Did he somehow, like we saw in the comic book, that spirit version or whatever he did of Palpatine sort of helped create Anakin Skywalker? Could he do that again and have created Rey, but he's not sure where she ended up? And then he made a clone of her somehow, and the one that he had, he's trained to be dark side and Rey's the light side one?
Oh, that's interesting. So like a second Rey.
And like he's like this clone Rey is hanging out on Darth Vader's castle, and that's where she is when you see in the trailer. She's in Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar.
See,
Rey has to go there to confront herself.
but the fact that you said, and because I noticed this too, she didn't have yellow eyes. So
no, that's true. Yeah,
I don't know. Like, because I'd imagine if there was light and she was Sith, if she was Sith, she'd have yellow eyes. Period. End of story.
Yeah. Anakin's changed pretty quick,
Yeah. By the way, John, 3D Printing with Heath said hello.
Hey Heath, how you doing? Yeah, we chat on the YouTube. We chat on the YouTube comments quite often.
Oh, cool. Ashen Hobbit asks, what do you think of Disney holding the Mandalorian movie for their own streaming service? I'm all for it. I say keep making them. I don't care. Like, as far as I'm concerned, because everything they put on Disney Plus stays there forever, I'm like, you pretty much guaranteed I'm a subscriber for life. Like, it's a given. Like, it's a given. I'm always going to be a Disney Plus subscriber, so I don't care.
I agree. The thing that floors me is $6.99 gets you all the basic stuff. You're going to get all the Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, everything. And then if you want to get Hulu and Fox and ESPN, it goes up to $12.
See, I don't care about all that.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is, sporadically through the year, I've paid for 2 or 3 months of Hulu already, because I get it when there's a show or something I want to watch.
Oh, right.
I'm watching, I cancel. So I'm kind of like, it's like $11 just to get Hulu on its own right now. So you're going to get all this other stuff for the same price.
That's the thing is, like, I look at Hulu, and I can't say that there's anything on it minus when the Orville goes there. But I don't know, again, I don't know if I could justify... If I was a sports fan, I could justify it. But not being a sports fan, I'm not... I'm not there. I don't think I'm there yet. And maybe that changes as Jedi gets older. But honestly, we're pretty well served with her by Netflix. And that's only going to get complemented further with Disney Plus. I don't know. Hulu doesn't fit anywhere for me. I almost kind of wonder... I wonder if that's ever going to merge. Hulu's ever going to merge and just melt into Disney Plus, or if Disney Plus is always just going to be Disney. Well, that's probably going to be the case.
I think that's why they have it separate. So they're just going to do that, but they're offering a package. If you want it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think YouTube should do the same thing.
Yeah, but I agree. The $6.99 package is going to be fine for most people. You know, 90% of the people, that's what they're going to get.
I screwed up. I ended up on a flight to one of our Intel events. They had on the plane. They had Star Trek Discovery, like the first 6 episodes or so. And I'm like, all right, okay, I'll watch it. You know, it's here. And I got hooked. I'm like, okay, this is good. And so I got home, and I went to sign up for the free trial without ads and screwed it up. And so there's like a free trial for like 30 days or a week or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I can binge the first 2 seasons there. And I ended up upgrading and then losing the bonus. So I ended up paying $10, but Star Trek Discovery is probably worth $10. Like for the first 2 seasons. Yeah. For sure.
That's the way I did that also. I mean, I paid for 1 month and binged the thing when it was done.
Right.
You know, I just pay attention till the season is done, binge it, pay for 1 month, binge it, and then you cancel.
Yep.
And I do that with DC Universe, the DC Universe app. When Swamp Thing came out, I bought 1 month, watched Swamp Thing, canceled, you know?
See, that's the thing.
When Doom Patrol came out, I got it for 1 month, watched Doom Patrol, then canceled.
They've really...
That's how all the other apps, the other streaming services, that's how it works. You pay for a month, watch for the show you want.
But that's the thing. It's like if they had more content, like, I'd stick around. Like, Netflix, I can't imagine us ever losing Netflix. Like, because and I know we're so far off the topic now, but, like, there's so much really... You know, but there's good content, and it's like there's always something new and fresh, and they're doing good stuff, right? But Disney Plus, I can guarantee, because of Star Wars alone, like there's just no chance I'm ever going to live without Disney Plus. Zero chance.
Oh yeah.
And Marvel,
they already got it set up right. I mean, November 12th, we're going to get The Mandalorian, which looks fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The trailer blew me away.
Oh man.
Great.
I don't know if the trailer didn't do. I mean, I loved it. I was more excited, John, not by like what I saw in the trailer. I was just excited, truthfully, because I'm like, we are getting several live action Star Wars shows. Like, this is like that's everything I've wanted. Everything I've wanted. More than the movies. Yeah,
but think about it. It's going to go for 8 to 10 weeks. With an episode every week, and then in February, the Clone Wars return.
Oh, right.
So right about when the Mandalorian ends, the Clone Wars return. And I bet you that's going to take us through. They're going to probably do weekly on that, and that'll take you through till the Cassian Andor first episode is fine to release.
Right.
And then you got Cassian for 8 or 10 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but there's something else down the line. I mean, I think Obi-Wan's another year or so off because they haven't even written it.
Think about it. If they do this right, and I'm not saying they will, but if they do it right, because what they're doing with Marvel is I think outstanding in terms of like Disney Plus and the integrations and the film. Everything just it works. Like, I'm so happy that I never have to buy another film. I'll get it on Disney Plus. So to me, they pretty much burned the sales of Endgame, because I'm like, why would I buy it for $20 when I'll have access to it anyway, by spending $7 a month or whatever. But if we can get to a point where there's a regular cadence throughout the year, forget the films. I mean, the films are coming, obviously. They're not going to stop making Star Wars movies. But if we can get into a cadence where maybe there's a couple of months in between or whatever, but they could produce several shows, like consistently year round, you'll always have something new Star Wars on Disney Plus, like inevitably, right? It's you don't, instead of having to wait 2 years, you only have to wait 2 months, you know? And I think Star Wars is rich enough, and if the writing's good, if the story's good, I think they can grow it to easily rival what they've done with the MCU. Differently.
Yeah, I agree. I and that's what I think they're sort of planning. I mean, because I guarantee you that the Resistance, Star Wars Resistance, ending with a second season here, is kind of to get Star Wars off the cable network, and then it's all going to be on Disney Plus.
Like a palate cleanser. Yeah.
And you know that Filoni and that group of animators, they're not going to sit around doing nothing.
Oh, no.
There's something else that they haven't told us about yet.
Guaranteed.
So there'll probably be another animated series. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of them were working on those Clone Wars Returns episodes, but there'll be something else animated down the road. We might find out maybe next year at Celebration or somewhere else down the road.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for The Mandalorian, not just because it's live action TV, but because theoretically we're not getting any other character, right? Any character that we know. And Rebels, you know, we kind of knew we were in that timeline, and we saw characters that we knew. Clone Wars, characters we knew from the films. You know, everything that they've produced has largely been in the arc of Skywalker, right? Or the Skywalker's been alive effectively. And so I'm very much looking forward to a post or pre Skywalker era of Star Wars. And if they, like I said, if the writing is good and the character development is good and the stories are good, like that's all you need. I mean, really, it's truthfully, that's all you need. That's it.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
You know, if you focus on that, game over.
And I think The Mandalorian is one touchstone in that, even though it does take place, like, 5 or 6 years after Return of the
Jedi. Yeah.
It's like
that's
a
true.
lawless period, you know, and in a sense, they don't have to bring any of those main characters in.
No, they shouldn't.
Just show you a whole bunch of new characters.
Right, that's the thing. Is I want the self-contained. I don't want to. I don't want to. Don't rely. I think they need to be finished relying on Skywalker or this era.
Yeah,
I really do. And those kind of radical departures, I think, are going to further propel Star Wars as a perennial kind of brand. You know, because you look everywhere and you see. I mean, I see more like Spider-Man and Captain America, like DC heroes, Marvel heroes, like they're perennial, and Star Wars is always this outlier, right? And I can't, I don't know if that's going to change, but you know, because they're never going to be able to escape their foundations, but they've got to be able to expand intelligibly without dipping into the old sauce over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Although I will say one thing, you know, going to The Mandalorian and a common character, that should not be IG-11. That's got to be IG-88.
No, it's IG-11. I'm fine with that.
Here's why. I gotta get this off my, you know, out there. When we saw IG-88 in Empire Strikes Back, he was unique. He was interesting. He was, what is this? This is a droid that's a bounty hunter. How can that be? You know? But now that we know that IG-11 is out there, and he also is a droid that's some kind of bounty hunter or scoundrel, that makes IG-88 no longer be unique. It means that every one of these in that series, the IG series, might be programmed to be a scoundrel or a bounty hunter. If there's 2, there's probably 3 or 4 or 8 or 20 million. You know, it's like IG-88 lost his uniqueness by the creation of IG-11.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess I can see it that way. I could see it that way. Yeah.
It should have just been IG-88. Why not? What's the difference? Why?
I'm not Favreau or Filoni. I have no idea. I'm just happy. I'm just happy that they're doing something. And by the way, hello, Liz, and Scott Sullivan asks, The Mandalorian is dropping one episode per week, not all at once. Thoughts? I'm actually all for that, honestly. And my only basis of comparison at this stage is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, when the season is hot, like, I like watching one episode and, like, wanting more. And then that feeling, I gotta wait another week. And I know it's hard, but then when that next week rolls around, I've got something new to look forward to versus kind of spending all that energy all at once. I like binging, don't get me wrong, but like I don't mind this for that reason. And for another reason that actually someone else brought up on social. They said, this is great because now there's a chance of there being a dialogue on social media. So like if I missed the, let's say, well, like the trailer today, a great example. I didn't have a chance to see it at the same time other people did. And by the time I saw it, everybody had, seen it already. So I'm quote unquote late, 8 hours later or whatever. But if it dropped at the same time and I had a chance to watch it contemporaneously, there's a chance of not getting spoiled and to actually have a conversation with other people at the same time and to continue like that conversation, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the Mandalorian? What if that? And then you get to come up with new theories versus just dumping it all at once and then losing all that energy and potential momentum. So the binger in me hates the idea, but I don't hate it as much as I really like it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree because I was like, the other thing is, if you were to drop all 8 or 10 episodes and binge it, now I've got to wait 2 or 3 months for the next Star Wars.
Exactly.
Whereas if you give it to me 1 episode a week, 1 hour a week, I got something to look forward to every single week.
That's what I'm saying.
2 or 3 months.
That's what I'm saying.
And you've got that time to discuss what happened and what you think's going to happen in the next one.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's, and I think that's a smart strategy. I think it's a smart strategy that Disney is offering. They're not going to, they're basically throwing all the Pixar movies, a ton of content, and they're never going to, I believe what I read was that they're never going to remove anything from Disney Plus. So Netflix, you have a show for a month or 2 or however long the cadence is, or the period is, and then it goes away. That's not going to happen with Disney Plus, and I think that's huge.
And it goes back to the beginning. It goes back to the very first films Disney ever made 50, 60 years ago, all the way up to today.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So you're going to get everything. You can rewatch The Parent Trap if you want to.
I love the classic Disney movies. I loved them. I grew up on them. I loved them.
And there's chickens. There's chickens in every movie.
There's what?
Chickens. They always have chickens in their house.
In what?
All the old live action movies. I'm always amazed that you see chickens and like barnyard animals at people's houses.
I never caught that detail. I never did. I never caught it. Yeah, that's funny. But wow, I'm way over. I was just planning on just talking for an hour, but it ended up going over. I'll let you go, John. I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right, man. Thanks for the chat. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've been dying all day to actually like physically talk to someone about this. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. Right. You know what I mean? All right, thanks, John.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, everybody. I've been trying. Honestly, here's what happened. Let me explain. And thank you, Christopher Miller, for the super chat. I appreciate it. So, as you very well know, I work for Intel. Happy to say that. Very proud to say that. Helping with their community efforts with Intel graphics. And sometimes you get in a cycle where most of my creative juices go to that, and so by the time I get to the end of the day, I'm burnt. I have nothing, and or there's nothing to share, nothing to show, and so I don't do a video, right? I was planning on doing, let's see here, what was I going to do a video on? This was actually a month or so ago, right around my birthday. I was going to do a video on my birthday, and I just didn't. I just got to my birthday, and honestly, I had a horrible birthday. Through no fault of anybody's. It was just a very... Nobody on this planet, it's nobody's fault that I had a horrible birthday. But it was just absolutely rotten. And so the last thing I wanted to do is come on and just be, angry. So... that's one of the reasons why I try to do the videos, when I do them, how I do them. I want to get into a regular schedule, but the problem is that the schedule that I'm currently in for what I'm doing with Intel, at Intel, for Intel, that gets my attention. It's where my brain goes. And if it's all gone by the end of the day, I don't have anything left. And there are exceptions to the rule. Like when the trailer drops, I'm like, yeah, let me watch it, and let's talk. Like today is a great example. When there's something to talk about, I'm happy to talk about. When I've got something to share, something to show, and that's not always the case. So I wish I could get into a more regular schedule, and maybe there's something out there it remains elusive at this time for a lot of different reasons, and not because I didn't want myself to fall into a regular pattern, a regular schedule that you can predict. I tried to do it. You might remember, I'm like, let me try to do this, and then ultimately the work became so, what I was doing before I was able to do videos at the end of the day, the day just weighs on you, and then by the time you get a chance to do something, it's challenging to do. I thought about doing once a week too, but then it's like, what am I going to talk about once a week? Well, the good news about that is, John, that we are going to have Star Wars content out the wazoo soon. I hadn't done that with Rebels or the Resistance, because as much as I enjoy the cartoons, I do. I mean, I just kind of enjoy. I just want to enjoy them, right? I didn't want to necessarily geek out over them and break them down and talk about them ad nauseum. Though that would have been interesting to do. I think the live action shows, though, Kenobi and Cassian Andor and K2SO, The Mandalorian, and then whatever else comes down the pike, I think that I would be able to find myself into a more... I wish I could do something every week. I don't think we have enough Star Wars content to do something every week, and that's what I want to talk about. Everything else is secondary. You could talk about the Disney park stuff for weeks alone. I know, but I went to the Disney parks and now I'm gone. I haven't been in weeks, months. We need a Porgs holiday special. I concur. So yeah. Anyway. That is all for me. I will go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you for joining for this reaction. I apologize for the audio. I must have toggled something. Hopefully it's better now. I hit something, and if I adjusted it and it's better, then I fixed it. But I apologize for the horrible audio and me screaming. I'm not going to apologize for me being excited, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm very, very, very excited. As I mentioned, Jump Trooper currently on GameStop, $5. The Black Series, that is a bargain and a half. I kind of wish they had two at my store. They didn't. They only had one. But anyway, Disney Plus will always have Pixar stuff. Yeah, like a Monsters, Inc. weekly show. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I can do a Disney thing every week. That's the thing. Is I don't think, and like I said, maybe this will change as Jedi gets older, and then she sees a show that she wants to talk about. It'll be different, right? And that'll certainly change things. But I just know that for me to get excited about something and to want to talk about it, I gotta want it. I gotta want to talk about it, right? I want to love to talk about it. And there's a lot that I like watching, but I don't necessarily want to let's geek out over this, for the next hour, half hour. I'm like, Star Wars has always been the exception to the rule. Always. Always, 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 always. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'd hesitate to commit to doing a weekly Star Wars show. I'd like to. I really would. I would. I'd love to. But I just don't know. I can't even do thumbnails right, for Christ's sake. I can't do anything right anymore as far as videos go. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. John, thank you for saying that you'd be available to talk tonight. That's awesome. I'm happy that we were able to geek out together and postulate the possibilities. I am going to start wrapping things up. I love you. Oh, and chat room? Wait, and chat room. Good night, Chris, and chat room. Oh, yes. Discord is open, too. Anybody can join Discord. There's not much activity there, though, because I'm busy. I have that to do right now. But I do love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you always.